Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Birmingham Sports Brief. Starting out in the Southern Professional Hockey League, your Birmingham Bulls wound up falling in overtime to the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs on Friday. However, they came back home to a packed crowd at the Pelham Civic Center and wound up pulling out a 4-2 victory over the Pensacola Ice Flyers, where they are now sitting at first place in the Southern Professional Hockey League. I have to say I'm very proud of the Bulls fans because they consistently make it difficult to find tickets there at the Pelham Civic Complex. So good job, Bulls fans. Meanwhile, in the NBA G League, the Birmingham Squadron almost pulled up a comeback victory versus the Sioux Falls Skyforce, where they fell 121 to 116. This weekend, they will be celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. weekend with some new threads. They will be debuting their tribute to the Birmingham Black Barons over the weekend with these new uniforms, as you can see there. Which I've talked to some of the people. I really hope these go up for sale. They were also supposed to tour the Negro League Museum over today, but unfortunately that was canceled due to some unforeseen circumstances. Meanwhile, in Birmingham's Stallions news, Coach Holtz had a press conference this afternoon, and he went over a few things. He went over a few things about the coaching changes. Listen in here.
The staff has had some changes to it. I've always said that we've got some staples that are returning. Obviously, John Chavis, our defensive coordinator, is going to return. With the two leagues merging together, two people that are not strangers to Birmingham, both Bill Johnson and Corey Chamberlain, who were our defensive line coach and secondary coach the year one when we were here. They are both coming back and joining the staff, and so those three are going to make up defense with Derek Riley, who will be the fourth, who has been on the staff the last 2 years. On the offensive side of the ball, Mike Jones, who was the receiver coach, is still here. Stephen Smith, who was the offensive line coach for the New Jersey Generals, will now be the offensive line coach. And then Chris Bonio will still be the special teams coordinator. So there's some new faces in there. I felt like it was important with us going in. Half the teams we play are coming from the XFL that I have no knowledge of, have never played, never gone against. And I think bringing two guys that were in the XFL over to what we're doing now as a UFL and unified league is going to help give us some insight into some of those teams, and I think it's going to help strengthen us as a staff.
As you mentioned, I do believe that these changes will help strengthen our leadership and development over the season, especially with us having to go into the XFL with the merger. He also mentioned that we all knew that he took a part-time assistant coach position at Northwestern University. However, he did mention that he was offered multiple full-time head coaching positions. Check this out.
Very. And let me say that I had an opportunity to go to Northwestern this fall. One of the things when we first started negotiations was that it was to be a permanent position, and immediately I'm out. Well, I have a job in February that I am I'm not going to miss. I want to be back. This is where I want to be. I have had probably as much fun coaching in 35 years as I ever have coaching in Birmingham the last 2 years with the Stallions, with the relationships with the players, the community, the fan base. It has just been a very rewarding experience for me. So once we got past the year-long contract to put this into a season situation, they had hired an interim head coach, and I went up as an assistant head coach off the field to have an opportunity to maybe help an interim head coach in a program that was going through a very hard time with some hazing allegations and everything that were on it. And I went up there with a team that had gone 1-11 the year before, had a ceiling of 1.5 games, I think Vegas gave us to win this year, and to win 8 and to go to the bowl game and to beat Utah in the bowl game. It was a great experience, but when that game was over, I took off my Northwestern purple and put my Stallion stuff back on and said, "Giddy up, let's go get this done. Let's go get ready for year 3." And so it's been a busy fall. I guess 12 games wasn't enough for me. I need 24 a year to be able to stay happy. But it was a rewarding experience for me. It was a great experience for me, and I'm very glad I did it. The relationships I made and the experiences I had. But I'm really excited to have the opportunity to get back here and have an opportunity to get into year 3 of the USFL, but year 1 of the UFL.
As you can see, you can tell where Coach's priorities lie. The Stallions are his main priority, and whoever thought that he was going to go there permanently was mistaken. He has a heart and passion for this not only this league, but this team. So it's amazing to see that. He also went into some rule changes, which we haven't heard much about. So let's hear what Coach had to say.
Well, we're still kind of learning all that. I was sent a playbook, but no, I haven't read all 72 pages. 172 rule book. I have not read all of them yet. I know that some of the differences is they did not kick extra points. That they went for 1, 2, or 3, but they were all offensive scrimmage plays. It was just whether they went from the 2, the 5, or the 10, whether it was 1, 2, or 3, but there were no extra points. And with us losing Brandon Aubrey, that did not break my heart. If Brandon was back, I would have been really disappointed. But I say that jokingly, but it's a touchdown isn't guaranteed 7. You know what I mean? It may be 6, it may be 7, 8, or 9. Right. I mean, so I think that's going to be exciting. I understand the kickoff rules are going to be what the USFL played, and it's going to look very similar to the way that the USFL game looked. There may just be a couple small changes or nuances that are done in some of the special team phases of it, but ought to be very, very similar.
As he mentioned, the extra points will be scrimmage plays, no kicking PATs. So that's going to be upgrade to the game. Looks like it's going to look more like the USFL kind of deal. I'm hoping that also means that we're going to be able to keep the 4th and 12 rule, because that was actually one of my favorite parts of the rules from the USFL. Lastly, Coach had one thing to say about fans. We need your help.
Saying that, we say we need everybody. This year we're only going to be in Birmingham for probably 5 home games. With us playing 10 games, I would imagine we'll play 5 on the road and play 5 here at home. We will train, we'll practice in Dallas. We'll get on a plane on Friday, fly to Birmingham, and have the opportunity to treat these as home games. But when you look at this new league, the one thing that the XFL did an excellent job of is some of those cities, they did a great job of really supporting those programs. There are programs or teams that were averaging 50,000 fans. And we want to make this the one place that everybody in the country says Birmingham. We don't want to go there because they have a distinct home field advantage because of the way this community comes out and supports this football team. And so I'm really excited about having the opportunity to come back, to represent this city, and have the opportunity to come back and play for us our 3rd year here in Protective Stadium, but the first for the UFL. And I think it's history we're all having the opportunity to make, and Birmingham has an opportunity to be one of those 8 cities around the country that has the opportunity to represent spring football.
He's been saying what I've been trying to say for a long time. We have got to get fans in the stands. So, whatever you have to do, please make sure you head out to Protective Stadium. You see the screen behind me. That was game one. We need to make it look like that every single game. All 5 games. If we wind up playing games there during the playoffs, I want them to force them to open up the upper deck, because we need to show out and show that Birmingham loves their sports, and not only USFL, or not only the UFL, the Barons, the Squadron, the Birmingham Legion. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, the Birmingham Bulls are selling out Pelham Civic Center. So for the Stallions, make sure you hit up Corey Helvey. He is the new director of ticket sales. I've talked to him a few times. He is all on board trying to sell out Protective Stadium. So make them open up the upper deck. Go to the UFL.com and click the tickets link right there. Or send an email to tickets@theuflstallions.com. Just please make sure you get your tickets. Don't watch it from the house, because watching it from the stands is such a better atmosphere. You can really get into the game, and it really solidifies the lasting success of the league here in Birmingham. Once again, I want to thank you. This has been the Birmingham Sports Brief.